Hi, how you doing? I'm SimUK, also known as Mike. I have a YouTube channel. I've had it for 5 years, believe it or not. Seems pretty incredible that I've had a YouTube channel for 5 years and almost done nothing with it. We're probably, or I'm probably one of the strangest YouTubers you'll ever meet on YouTube. There are a lot of YouTubers out there with 20,000 subs who are very successful, making a reasonable amount of money, getting decent number of views. I'm not one of those YouTubers. We've got the subs, we don't get the views. I think about 2% of the people who watch our channel are our subscribers. So that's probably my fault. But let me explain to you exactly who I am and what we do at SimUK, and that will probably explain to you why that is. So what we tend to do is we provide honest, critical reviews for simulation games, realistic games, RTS games and VR games. And we also do a lot of reviews on hardware and equipment that people like to use in order to play those games with the ultimate realism. And you can see from our logo that our ethos is ultimate realism. I like games to be as realistic as possible, which means difficult without being deliberately awkward. But I like to learn. I like to experience what it would be like to be a World War I pilot. I like to experience what it would be like to be an A320 pilot. I like to experience what it would be like to be in charge of my own spaceship. Things that I can't do in the real world. An F1 racer, rally driver, these kind of things. I like to experience that in a simulated, safe environment, but as realistically as possible, which means it's hard. It's really hard. And unlike every other channel, well, not every other channel, but unlike most channels on YouTube, I don't focus on one genre. I cover everything because my passion is simulation, not necessarily racing, motorbikes, aeroplanes, spaceships, no one dedicated thing, just simulation as a whole. Now, I used to be a software engineer, which means I have an analytical eye. I come into systems, existing systems, and I try and find problems, and I try and provide solutions to those problems or suggestions for changes that would make things better or more efficient or more fun or more realistic, whatever the case may be. So my reviews are focused in that direction. Now, a lot of people think I'm just nitpicking and trying to find problems, and technically, yes, that is what I'm doing. But that is the point of a review. If you go and check the word review, that is exactly what it is. So it frustrates me that all these other channels who are positive, only positive in their reviews, they're not reviewing at all. They are advertising. They are promoting a product for you. They are trying to sell you the product. So companies are paying them money to sell you their game, whereas I get paid nothing and I review the game honestly. My priority in a review is to tell you what the problems are, the problems that I have experienced, so that you can buy the game knowing all of its positives and negatives. And a lot of people don't like that. I've had death threats, a lot of abuse, and a lot of people follow me around and deliberately try and make my life difficult because of the reviews I make. But that won't stop me. That will never stop me, because honesty, I believe, is the best policy. So, in the realms of honesty, I'm going to be honest with you about who I am. I was at university studying to gain the skills so I could start my own company and start making software development tools and games. And I was pretty good at it. I was definitely one of the best in our class in the year. And then I had a car crash in 2009. And that car crash has completely changed my life. It's completely changed my personality. And I have a few problems as a result of the accident. The head injury means that my processing skills of language has been diminished significantly. So there's a few annoying things, like I'll pull a word out of my head, but the word that I say is different to the word I'm thinking of, but I can't hear the difference. So I don't know when I'm saying the wrong thing until much, much later. It affects me in other ways as well. If I write a word, I used to be very good at spelling, but if I write a word now and Microsoft Word tells me that it's spelt incorrectly and it highlights it, I can't see where the error is. And then when I correct it using the tool, I still can't see what the error is. It's a weird issue. What's weirder than that is now I used to be able to reverse looking in mirrors. Can't do that anymore because my brain can't cope with the reversal. Don't really understand why that is. In addition to that, well, I have, not surprisingly, depression. So a lot of people say that I sound depressed and miserable and so on and so forth. And also my speech is considerably slower than it used to be. And at the time, there was no name for it, and I forget now what the name is, but when you speak, you create images in your head. And as a software developer, everything was theoretical. So when you're designing a product, you can see its structure in your mind's eye. But after my accident, my mind's eye didn't work at all. My mind's eye broke completely. So I now see nothing. It's completely blank. So when I'm speaking, I can't see ahead of myself anymore, which is why I often go off on tangents and I completely forget what I was saying. And that's a bit of a problem. But one thing nobody says about depression, and I'm going to tell you this now, is that although I appreciate and I know and I understand that I come across as slow, bored, miserable, when you have depression, you feel like you are peaking. Like right now, I feel like I'm being really enthusiastic and really excited and really intense. But actually, I'm probably about a 4 on the intense level. But to me, that feels like a 10. And that's what I find really interesting about depression, is that difference between how life used to be and how life is now. And I am well aware that I come across to my friends as miserable and tired and depressed and boring. Nobody wants to listen to me. So why the hell have I got a YouTube channel, and why the hell am I producing this video to entice you to come and become part of the channel? Honestly, I don't know. It seems like a pointless idea. I'm probably wasting your time and my time. The chances of people wanting to support Sim UK as a channel seems very unlikely, seeing as we have very few of our subscribers actually watching our videos. I don't even understand why we have so many subscribers, because nobody who subscribes watches our channel. 80% of the views we get are from people who have never seen the channel before ever, and they're not subscribed. It seems very odd to me. I'm clearly not particularly good at what I do, but what I do try and do is try and keep things on a professional keel. I try and produce good content, good quality content, good audio, good, honest, factual feedback wherever possible. And I occasionally throw in some gameplay and stuff as well. I have a second channel. In fact, I have about 8 channels. I have a second channel that does have dedicated gameplay on it. But the thing is, I am aware of my depressive tone and my depressive nature. And as I said before, because of part of my head injury, I get exhausted, mentally exhausted very, very quickly when speaking or thinking or trying to process information. Something that never used to bother me before. As a software developer, and if you yourself have been a software developer, I used to think nothing of sitting down and working solidly for 14 hours on a single problem, if necessary, or a single product if I wasn't having a problem. That was no problem at all. I never had an issue. I enjoyed the challenge, and quite proud to say that I have never been defeated. I have always found a solution to the problem. But in 2009, we had the car accident, and it changed all of that. So my dreams of having a software development company and creating my own games kind of went out the window. And a YouTube channel evolved off the back of that. Now, I get a lot... I mean, YouTube is a toxic place, and I get a lot of abuse for what I do. But I also get a lot of thanks and a lot of appreciation from people as well. And, you know, I'm very grateful for that, and I'm glad to be helping people out. But the fact of the matter is, I don't get sent games very often, and I certainly don't get paid. I have never, ever been paid to review a product. Not once. And as much as your gratitude is appreciated, it doesn't pay the bills. And I guess that's what this thing is. Now, I'm only making this video today because YouTube told me that I needed to do this. And I thought, well, maybe I do need to do this. I don't know. Maybe this is a waste of time. Maybe it's a good idea. I really don't know. I really don't know. But at the end of the day, I'm a simulation fan like you. I'm not like any other YouTuber. I'm not looking to be famous. I couldn't care less if nobody wants to watch my videos. I do like to think that I'm helping people with my videos. When I make reviews on games, you know, you can dodge a bullet. Instead of buying a game that's not as good as they promoted it as being, you can say, well, do you know what, I'm going to wait for a sale, or I'm not going to bother buying this at all. Then I feel like I've helped you. If I've created a tutorial that helps you understand how a game works or gets you into a game quicker, then I feel like I've helped you. That makes me feel good. But at the end of the day, I'm a dad first. I'm a husband second. And I'm a YouTuber third, I guess. And it's weird because my daughter's at that age now where she understands much more of what's going on in the world. And when she tells her friends at school and her teachers at school that her daddy's a YouTuber, I feel bad for her. And I feel embarrassed when I go to the school. But at the end of the day, unless you've been a YouTuber, you do not understand how much work is involved. The hours that I put into this is unbelievable. And the equipment that I have to buy, the cameras, the microphones, the PC, the monitors, that adds up really quickly. And it's hard. It's really, really hard. And I have I have another job as well. This isn't my only job, but this is my full-time job. I probably work about 14 hours a day. And today is Saturday. It's my day off. Or it's meant to be my day off. But here I am making a video, thinking about the videos I've got to make for next week, planning the schedules, writing scripts for reviews. It just goes on and on and on and on, pretty much like this video. It just goes on and on and on and on. And I've no doubt that whoever you are, and I get a lot of interruptions as well, which causes a lot of editing problems. But whoever you are, I'm sure you've already stopped watching. I would have stopped watching ages ago. Now, like I say, in my head, I feel like I'm intense and I'm exciting and I'm funny and I'm being... I mean, that's how it feels. But I know from experience that that isn't the case. And part of the reason why I started doing YouTube was to help with my speech. Now, you may notice that sometimes when I'm speaking, I slur. And like I say, I get distracted and I go off on a tangent and I lose my trail of thought. They're all things from the accident in 2009. And part of the reason for starting YouTube was to help me with my speech. Now, if you go back and watch some of my earlier videos, I sound like a 1940s radio presenter. That's the speed and the way in which I spoke. But I had to do that because my speech was so bad back then when I started this channel. It was so bad that people couldn't understand me. It was terrible, and I would lose my trail of thought much quicker than I do now. I'm much better now than I was before, but I'm still only like 50% of what I was before the accident. And my personality has completely gone as well. I used to know exactly who I was. I used to know exactly what I thought, and I used to know exactly how I would behave in any given situation. I was never, ever out of my depth. I have no idea who I am now. I just bounce around from situation to situation. I tend not to go out and interact with people, partly because when I speak to them, they think I'm dull and boring and about as enthusiastic as a dead wet fish. And, you know, that's very frustrating for me, but I can't blame them. And that really causes me problems. I used to have a lot of friends. Now I have, well, I don't really have any friends anymore, which is hardly surprising given everything that I've said. But yeah, so there you go. A bit of truth about me, a bit of reality. And another distraction. But yeah, these videos are very difficult to make and very pointless. And they're very personal. And a little while ago, I used to make a lot of gameplay videos, and I was very honest about my life and the situation that we have in this house, and so on and so forth. I think purely because I had nobody else to speak to. So I was kind of sharing myself with you guys. And that's, I think, because the channel was growing quite well at first. And I think that's when it all fell apart. The views just dropped off. I mean, there were a lot of YouTube algorithm changes, and YouTube definitely wants to promote channels that makes them more money. Mainstream media in YouTube, I think it's disgusting. I think they should be banned. They shouldn't be allowed in. Having a BBC channel, having a Top Gear channel, things like that, that should not be allowed. I think it's disgusting. YouTube was a platform for people like me, I guess, just normal people, to share their voice, share their opinion, and help each other out and entertain each other. And it's just been taken over by the mainstream media, and they've totally ruined it. I don't recognize YouTube now in the way that I did before. Before, it just used to be, you know, make a video, be yourself, and like-minded people would sort of gravitate towards you, and you'd create a community, and either you'd get on great or, you know, you'd fade away and die. But now it's all about numbers, statistics, follow-up, payments, promotion. It's nothing like it used to be. YouTube used to be a really honest platform. I used to go to YouTube because I trusted the people. I could judge somebody and see if they were being genuine or not. But honestly, there's hardly any genuine people on YouTube who are successful these days. And that's the reality of it. And that's what Sim UK is. In a kind of roundabout fashion, I'm going to try and wrap this video up now. So that's what Sim UK is. I'm old school. I'm honest. I'm genuine. I make mistakes. When I make mistakes, I hold my hands up and apologize and tell the whole world that I've made mistakes. So I made a video recently about a mistake that I made, and I expected a lot of abuse, but I didn't get any this time, which was very surprising. But normally I do. But, you know, this is YouTube. There are a lot of toxic people out there, and a lot of people will deliberately target you and try and destroy your channel as best they can. That's my daughter shouting me. She's eaten her fruit and wants to know if she can have a packet of crisps. What do you think, guys? you think she deserves a packet of crisps? It's tricky, isn't it? Being a parent. Being a parent is very hard.
Can I have crisps, please?
Hello, darling. Do you want to come say hello to everyone?
Okay.
Actually, do you want to come say goodbye to everyone?
Okay.
Bend your legs. Thank you.
Bye again.
Bye again. What are you doing?
I'm Saturn.
Genius. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Feel free to support the channel. Don't if you don't want to. It doesn't matter to us, does it? Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe, like, join, all that good stuff. Take care of yourselves. Till next time. Goodbye. Say goodbye.
Bye again.
Come on, let's go. Ooh.
Whee!